Hello everybody and welcome back to Shamrock Valley. So we've actually done pretty well in the end. It looks like the rest of the spring is going to be very nice. The start of the spring was horrible. It was just raining every day. But yes, it's much better. So in fact, if we just bring up the weather forecast, you can see that we've got a 4-day straight of hot sunshine. In fact, 24 degrees on Sunday, so a huge difference is on the way. But yeah, we're doing really well because it's 8 degrees now, the soil temperature. So germination has occurred over in field number 37 and field number 3. So I would have thought if we were to go over to one of those two fields, we'd see quite a drastic change. We are going over to one of those fields, or both of those fields, because they need to be fertilised. So what we actually need to do is either find a fertiliser spreader or buy one. I don't think we have one, so let's just take a look. Nope. Okay, so we don't have one of those. What about a sprayer? No. Okay, so yeah, we're going to have to buy something. I would have thought a fertiliser spreader would be better. The Coon. Yeah, we'll go for this. So we'll buy that. It's going to have to come back over to here to refill. The refill point is just here. So which tractor shall we use? I would have thought something quite fast. In fact, actually, yes, we've got crop destruction switched on. So if I was to drive in the field with standard tyres, it would actually destroy the crop, which isn't too much of a problem for the first application, if we were doing 3 stages, that is, because it would give us tram lines. But because we're doing just one application, I might as well just stick with the row crops. So the Deutz Agrostar is going to be the best tractor for the job. I think I'm going to have to get a front weight as well. But that is not a problem. They're not too expensive. And yeah, I think that just generally this tractor is going to be perfect for spraying. Oh, I'm not waiting for them. Right, off we go. So yes, we'll pick up the spreader and a weight, bring it back to the yard to refill, and first of all go down to field number 37. In the previous day, what I did is I brought back the slurry tanker to here. The main reason for this is because we did buy a mulching mower, but it's also a field mower, so you can essentially cut the stubble, wheat stubble for example, after you've baled. So you're essentially not only taking the straw off the field, but you're also putting the mulch back into the field. And I don't know if it actually acts as another stage of fertiliser. It would be good if it did, but yeah, it breaks it down even further, so when you plough it in, it's going to rot much more efficiently. Right, is that all the way up? Interesting. It doesn't seem to want to lift any higher. I will buy a weight as well. Which one should we go for? Nothing too extravagant. This one here should be good. 850. I wonder if the tractor is capable of picking up this weight. It should be able to. Although that is quite a big weight. Ooh. It's only the top link that has worked. I think there must be another control in here. There we go. That's better for that. So that works. But as for the rear spreader, I can't adjust the lift on it. So we're basically going to have to just keep it like this. It's not ideal, but it will work. So I can live with it. Okay, so yeah. Let's go and refill. It's going to be quite expensive, but the reason why I've gone for this bigger spreader is because we do have to do quite a bit of travelling. Last thing we want to do is have to keep going back to the yard to refill. We could take pallets over to the field if we wanted to, but again, it's another job that has to be done. This just speeds things up quite a bit. Okay, so let me reverse into here. Get it filled up. Right, I'm going to probably keep the weather forecast open because it is nice to be able to see the upcoming weather. And it is in fact summertime in just 2 days' time, so we should be mowing very soon. In fact, we might even be mowing in the next episode because we have moved on very quickly. The weather has dramatically improved. Right, that's going to be heavy. But I think the Deutz Agrostar is up to it. Yeah, no problems at all. Perfect. Right, field 37 to begin with, then we'll come up to field number 3. And that'll be everything for the time being. How annoying. The fertiliser costs 5,376 euros. Oh, another thing we need to do is move the pallets of wool. It isn't totally full yet, there is more space for them to spawn, but we could do with just moving them and putting them under cover somewhere. I don't want to sell them, because currently there is not a great demand. It wouldn't really be a wise idea to sell them at this stage. But yeah, they just want to be together, undercover, ready for being sold. In fact, we could even get a trailer, especially for just selling the wool on, and I could keep it in the yard, and basically just keep it stocked up until we go and do the big selling session. The other good thing about putting it on a trailer instead of just putting it in a barn is we can keep taking it over to the sheep's field. In fact, you might be able to see it from here. No. Yeah, just take it over to the sheep's field to do it really quickly, instead of travelling backwards and forwards with just one pallet on the tines. So yeah, lots of things to consider. We have the money to do that sort of stuff, which I wouldn't normally have. If it was a series at the beginning of, well, Farming Simulator 17, we wouldn't have much money. It's because we've transferred the money between all of the Let's Plays I've done. I can't see a thing. It's clear. Good. There are horses in this field just here. I like that. Or is it a rhinoceros? So, do we have GPS on this tractor? No. We could get it fitted, I suppose. That would be nice, but another expense. Anyway, let's go. I think this tractor is on the limit of being big enough. I think it is big enough, but only just. That's the other good thing about the spreader. The working width is incredibly wide, so we can get the job done quickly. Because I think we all know how spreading can get fairly boring if you're doing it with seasons, because you have to do a lot of spreading if you're in a lot of fields. In fact, on this map it's going to be fun. Every field is going to be fun. But if you're doing it on a massive map, for example, a USA map, if you're doing spraying or spreading on every single field, especially if you're doing it 3 times, it would get a little bit tedious. I've always found spreading to be one of these jobs which is really fun in moderation. I would miss it if you couldn't do it, but I'm not mad keen on spreading for a long period of time. Look at that, we've almost covered the entire field. That is impressive. I'm not going to risk missing too much, so we'll stick to this side. And then it'll be a case of driving over to field number 3 and doing that as well. And then that'll be the spreading done for today. Likewise, the slurry, that doesn't need to be done again, because we're not actually restricted to doing that in the spring. It doesn't have to be done in the spring. I want to get the potatoes in the ground, very important, and we'll get the irrigator set up in the future, probably 1 or 2 episodes time. Right, there we go. I want to take a look at this horse. I suppose the best place to stop is just here, so I'll pull in. It's a bit rough. Okay. I'm just entering somebody's field. Good grief. It's coming towards us. More like a donkey, I suppose. I actually don't know. I think it's a donkey. What would you say? Right, okay, I think that confirms it. It's a donkey. With that all clarified, we can move on. This is actually a really nice area. This must be the other farm. It is our land, so it's our donkey. Yeah, Scatterbrook Farm. I like that. Very nice. This is the first really nice day that we've had. Actually, is that a cut through? If we turn right out of here. Yeah, it's the first decent day that we've had so far. And it's just so nice not to have all of that rain, which we kept having. We only use 9% of the spreader. Oh, while we're here, we could actually get a worker to bring back the lorry with us. I know we're not going straight back, but it would actually save quite a bit of time. And I can close the gate. There's quite a bit of growth here too. The slurry is already working in. Love this lorry. Really good. Okay, so I need to basically pull out of here far enough to be able to shut the gate. It's quite rough, the terrain out here. And there we go. Field 4 waiting to be cut, which will probably be in the next 24 hours or so. Right, over to field number 3. Heavy going uphill. We went for the lowest spec engine, so we just have to sit and wait ready for it to build up the power. But it's fine. I wasn't mad keen on spending too much on it because it's not going to be used an awful lot. We'll be only spreading the slurry once a year, I would have thought. Right, I believe it's up here. I won't park the slurry tanker in the town because I know the residents won't be best pleased. So we'll just take it up here with us, it's easier anyway. And we can park it at the side of the road. Now that's a horse. Yes, that's definitely a horse. Looking good. Come on, you can make it. You're only a third full. If I can pull off the road far enough, it'll be good. But if not, I can go the other side. Yeah, that's fine. Right, let's get this field fertilised. I was going to use a weeder, but of course, it doesn't have a great benefit in FS17. Can't wait for 19 for that. We can actually have a proper use for the weeders. Good, the traffic actually is managing to pass the truck without just sitting there waiting for it. They're definitely hesitating, but yeah, at least they are passing. Okay, so I'm going to continue. I think it'll only take about 2 minutes to do this. What do you think of the series so far? Am I doing it the right way? Because I know that some people say that with certain series, that I sort of go down the wrong path and it just gets a bit of a funny series, if you know what I mean. Even if the map is incredible, just the approach I take sometimes. I know that Lone Oak Farm I got spot on, because I've been told so many times. Thank you, everybody. Oakfield Farm apparently I did okay. I think, which one was it? There was another one which I did really badly, apparently. I can't remember. So what do you think? Am I on the right track? It's always nice to hear feedback, because it's not too late to change my style at this early stage. All sorted. So the next job is just to do a bit of flailing outside the gate of the main yard. It's going to take probably a minute or two because the grass isn't even very long, but I just want to show you my sort of demonstration of the flail. It's the flail that can also cut the stubble, so yeah, I really want to do that. So we'll basically, when it comes to harvesting wheat or barley, we'll cut it and we'll bale it, so we'll do it in swath mode, but then instead of leaving relatively long stubble, we'll then cut that down with the flail and then plough it in, and it should really help with the productivity of the next crop. improve the soil quality. And there is field number 2. That is another field which we've already slurried. So yeah, we're going to be doing pretty well. Now I know we haven't really touched on fields 27, 26, 28, 30, 33, or 9, 13 or 12, or 38, in fact loads of fields, but we're going to. We're going to do that very soon. We're going to start to do that. In fact, we might be drilling those in the autumn instead of the spring, because we're going to be busy anyway with the harvest of the fields we've got. And yes, it would just be a bit more relaxing instead of just doing like 4 episodes straight of harvesting. That's the approach I'm taking. So every field will have something in it, but just not necessarily at the same time. I'm also going to use the oilseed radish crop as well, because that is actually fertiliser. If you plough it in, it's green manure, so it's going to save money on fertiliser and save time really. The job we've just done won't need to be done. Right, I don't know where that's gone. Must have crashed. We'll park this over here. Yeah, you really shouldn't leave spreaders full, because the fertiliser is corrosive and it will rot the spreader. So that's why I'm leaving 72% in there. We need to get it used up. We'll probably just put it on a grass field somewhere. Where's it gone? It appears to be just parked casually on a corner. No idea why. Oh, now I see why. The sign must have a collision which sticks out. Must have only just caught it. Unless the driver went to the pub, which is more likely. Right, we'll park this up near the slurry pit. And we're going to use the Scorpion after that, the Claas Scorpion. I'm at risk of calling it the Scorpion King because of the similarity in names. So if I ever do call it a Claas Scorpion King, please do forgive me. It's a Claas Scorpion. Okay, so let's just reverse this into here. The Scorpion King, by the way, if you didn't know, is the, well, they call it a tree harvester, which I suppose is exactly what it is. It's just I've never called it that before, so I tend to just call it the tree feller. The tree felling thing. Very technical. Right, there we go. So, yeah, I think we'll get a pallet fork for it later. I was going to just use a tractor for that. In fact, we could still do. But I do like the Scorpion. And, yeah, I'd like to use it more. It's going to be used flat out when we do the bales. So here it is. It's got its own little shed. As you can see, it's a pretty big flail. Kind of looks like the header for a forage harvester, but it's not. It's for a tractor. Takes a bit of time to warm up this tractor. Okay. Now I'm hoping there is going to be enough space out on the roadside to unfold this, because we actually have to unfold it, then detach it, and then reattach to the side. So we'll just have to see. Failing that, we'll do it in the gateway. Although, yeah, it looks like there is plenty of space. So if I press X, I can get that to lower, and it will put the drawbar out. We're going to have to block the road temporarily. Drop it here. Wait for the car. And then reattach. I do like it. It's a very good mod. It's just, I'm not convinced it sort of fertilises the grass if you were to mulch it. I think it just does drop it and it has no benefit, but I'm not entirely sure. I've tried it before and I couldn't get it to work, but there might be an option for it. Actually, let me just check. No, I don't think there is. But even so, it's a good flail. This is going to be troublesome. The dreaded traffic is on the way. Right, that's better. Let's get this thing fired up. Oh, more. There isn't much to cut. But even so, it's going to do a pretty good job at flailing. Go away, traffic. You're not wanted here. Okay. We're not going to be having any more trouble from them. So although it isn't long, this is going to knock it back a stage, So in the summer when we're really busy, it's going to take much longer to grow up to an unmanageable height. It's actually really uneven, this. And I only want to do around the yard entrance just to keep it tidy. So that'll do. There we go. And now for the other side. It's a bit wider this side, so that's good. It's going to make it easier for us. And we'll probably just go as far as the post. I think it says welcome to Shamrock Valley. So it's a good stopping point. And then we're going to buy a flatbed trailer. Or we could just use the bale truck we've got. But I don't really want to use that. It would be good if we had our own sort of dedicated trailer for it. Yeah, the welcome to Shamrock Valley sign is actually the other side of the junction. So we'll just go as far as this pull in here. I think that's the entrance to our field number 1 anyway, so yeah. There's not much point in doing the council's work. And then we'll just go to the gate. Perfect. So like I say, you're not seeing a huge difference this time of year, but that has put it back to obviously the lowest growth. In fact, if you go to where we didn't do, we should be able to see. There you go. So before, after. It's much thinner. Right, let's put it away and we'll move on. I quite like where I had it before, so we'll put it back into here. And I think the Scorpion will be capable of towing a trailer, providing it has a tow bar. Most of them do, but some have to be fitted extra. Let's see here. Yep, that's fine. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to support our trailer though, because there is a different fitting. Yeah, that's not a hydraulic one, which lowers, so we might have trouble. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take this off. We'll put it just there. We'll get a pallet fork for it anyway. If all else fails, then obviously we can use the International in there, which you can see. But it would have been good if we could tow the trailer with this. It's such a smooth sounding machine. And yes, I go for a CSZ pallet fork because we went for a standard one before. So pallet forks, it's going to be in telehandlers. That's nice too. But yeah, I can't really get it because we've already got a really big expensive one. So, standard pallet fork, there we go. Get it fitted on. And a trailer. Yeah, so I wonder which the best flatbed trailer is going to be. Yeah, so I wonder which flatbed trailer is going to be the best. Let's just see here. We've obviously got that, but yeah, I think the others I've got installed, but they're not enabled, so I might have to just go and re-enable them. That isn't bad, I'll be honest, but I don't like the dolly. However, thinking about it, because it is that design, that drawbar might be the only drawbar which fits this, because you can pick it up by hand. So we will see. Because we're running seasons, we actually get a full refund if we're not happy with the machine within a certain period of time. So yes, if it doesn't fit, I can sell it and go and get another one. Yep, as predicted, it does fit because we can pick it up. So that's that sorted. Not the trailer I wanted, but for practicality reasons, it is the one we're going to have. And actually, it is pretty big. And you can strap. So, that is the sheep field. The gate to the sheep field is just around the corner. And because I want to be annoying, I'm going to block the road. Oh no, I've left the gate open. That means I don't get to block the road. Oh well. There we go. Yeah, so I was only going to block the road to annoy the traffic. Because yeah, they've annoyed me. They crash into me so much. Right, so we've got quite a few pallets here. We have 3.5, so that is not bad. We're not going to make a habit of moving them, because I think the capacity here is probably 6 pallets, which is quite a lot. That's going to take a while to fill up. Let's see if I'm any good with this pallet fork. I'm usually bad with all of them, but there is always a first. Oh yes! Can I get 2? And I'm not supposed to, but it's very tempting. And it is a dolly trailer, so we can fill it up from either end. First, it doesn't really matter. Perfect. Or is it? Oh, I have a bad habit of speaking too soon. Yeah, I think the weight of the telehandler is still on that, so there we go. Almost perfect. I can nudge it in. Oh, bit too far maybe, but yes, we'll get these 2 on as well, and then we'll put a strap on, take it to a shed which we find suitable for this trailer, and then every time we have enough here to take, we'll bring the trailer back and top it up, until of course we get a great demand, at which point we will be selling it. But we can keep an eye on how the demand is going for this, because there is the economy page. Silage, where would it be? Wool. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's just see here. What is the current price? Go across to wool. Yes, that is pretty good. It's going down though, so there's no point in doing it at the moment. Oh, this is such a good telehandler. Why have I not used it before? Maybe I can get these 2 to stay on together. I wonder if it's because the trailer isn't perfectly level because of the ground. It might be. Anyway, I'll give that a nudge just to push it on a bit further. And then we'll strap them on. And they'll be ready to take back to the yard. Should be fine. How many straps? 2? 2 will do. Let's go. Better not run over any sheep. So yeah, I'm not really too bothered about how many sheep we get to. Obviously the more the better. I did get rid of some, but that was because we had so many. But because we're starting from something like 50 again, or is it 100? It's going to be much more manageable. 85 and 50 cows, so yeah, it's much more manageable. Yeah, and because we did so much work on Lone Oak Farm, there is no requirement for anything at this stage. Couldn't be better, really. And yeah, don't worry, this time I'm going to shut the gate. Does this have interactive control? It does. I better use it, because it is good. Would it be normal practice to top a sheep field? Like, when this gets really long, if I was to come in here with the flail, which you just saw, to cut it down a bit, would that be a recognised thing to do? to get fresher growth later in the year? I don't know. If anybody knows, then I would love to know about it. Because I'm not doing this as a super realistic series or anything, it's just I quite fancy doing that. Yeah, so I don't know, it might be better off actually having a shed over at the other farm, because we have 2 farms, although at this stage we're not really needing the other farm. Although we probably should make most... Yeah, I would like to get some pigs actually. Because we've got such a head start with the sheep and the cows, pigs would be a good option, especially as we have so much money. But not before I have the appropriate feed, because otherwise they're going to die. If it was a standard series without seasons, I would get them now, but yeah, as I know that if I don't feed them or look after them properly, it's just pointless, it's just cruel. So yeah, that's going to drip on that massively when it rains. So where can I go? Ooh, interesting. I'm always doing that. I keep it in the wrong field of view. Actually, this shed is huge. And if there is enough space, I might be able to drive in one side, spin round in here, then align and reverse back. We'll see. It is possible. This trailer has the best manoeuvrability. And because it's on a telehandler, it's even easier. Although it is possible to jackknife. Right. I suppose if there's going to be an issue, it's the approach angle out of there, because it's quite tight in the yard. Easy. That's good. Right, we'll keep it in here. Although I do still need to back up, which is the tricky part. Straight in the trailer. But I think it is. I think the telehandler is the easiest machine to do this with, because you can get really tight movements on the wheels. If you mess up, just straighten up. Or don't go through the back wall as well. There we go. Great. So, yeah, we only took down half the barn. It could have gone much worse. Right, how are we doing? It's 10 to 6. Well, I've done the jobs I wanted to do. So, I might go and park up. And we'll have an early night. It's actually 18 degrees. Oh. Now they need mucking out. That is a priority, because the last thing we want is to have a great big pile of muck. So, yeah, I don't have a muck fork or anything. Muck grab, I should say. I think it goes here, if I'm not mistaken. So, I will do that. We'll get a CSZ, because they're just incredible. High capacity, although the silage fork is the highest capacity. But that would be insanely heavy, so we can't really go for that. It was quite expensive. It's 6,000. But it will be worth it, and it's going to have plenty of use. In fact, mucking out the cows is a full-on job. But now, because we have less of them, I can manage them better from the start. I really did neglect the cows on Lone Oak. Ooh, I just bumped into that truck. It didn't seem to care. It drove off. But just look at the size of that bucket. Massive. 4,000 litre capacity. I don't know how much is in here, but whatever it is, it needs to come out, because it's unsightly and it's dirty, so yeah, let's get it cleaned out. I think it might only be a bucket load or two. That's good scoopage. Okay, it's a bit more than the bucket load. Wow. It must just lay it fairly thin on the ground. But actually, there's quite a bit. Like I say though, if we were to do this daily, it would never really accumulate to too much. Which is what I really do need to do. I wonder if you can drive straight through here and tip it over the wall. Yeah, that would be faster. Perfect. Bit laggy though, I'm not too sure what's doing that. Restarting the game seems to have sorted that. Now it's as smooth as anything. Much better. It's weird how it can just go laggy randomly. I don't know what would cause it. Probably the traffic, I don't know. Yeah. I wouldn't have a problem with the traffic if it, you know, if you could control the speed it travels at, and also if you could actually push them out of the way. It always used to be like that on FS09, but now they're just rigid, so even if you just clip the side of a car or something with a bucket, it stops you dead, or it could even knock your vehicle over. Whereas in 09, it flipped the car over, which isn't a good thing, but for gameplay purposes, it's more enjoyable. And I already know that a lot of people would be on the same side as me for that, because it was actually on Landy Kid's livestream once. He was doing a look back video on FS09, and pretty much everybody who was chatting there was in agreement that the traffic in 09 was more enjoyable because you could actually push it over. But now it's just rigid. You can't even move them a millimetre. They just basically just stop you dead and yeah, get on your nerves a bit. Anyway, it's looking much tidier in here. Much tidier. We don't need to get every bit, because after all, they're just going to come and do another poop in here. Anything better than what it was is fine. We have 5% left in the bucket, so we'll fill it to the top. If we have space for it. It's quite heavy though. It must be about 4 tons of manure. There we go. We're full. Yeah, that is a much faster system, just putting it over the wall. Oh, my Satex Saipon's doing that thing again. I'm trying to tip it, but it keeps extending it. That's weird. As I say, it's had over 1,000 hours use. And this is the first issue I've had with it. Anyway, I think we're going to leave it there. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. And I'll see you again very soon in the next one. Bye for now.